I was thinking when it came to playing a very sweet and very innocent young high school teenage girl who falls in love with a much older, blood-gargling, nocturnal oddball. Did you talk to Evan Rachel Wood maybe about how this feels? Because I would think there's a certain degree of crossover there for you.
Aw. No, man. I hope she sees this interview.
So do I.
Yeah. No.
I know they split up now, but I would think there was some sort of, degree of across the great divide for her too, of having to deal with perception and how people feel about that. But it was a joke question.
Right. I know, I'm really not funny. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I know the beautiful Robert, he said that at first we read the script and he sort of got into the books and all that. He was a bit worried that this was sort of a one-dimensional character, that how do you play this perfect hunk, and it was really only when he auditioned with you that he sort of saw there was things to be done here. And I don't know, did it take a while for you to sort of feel there was things beyond cliche here, that you could actually make something of this?
Yeah, the first contact that I had with the whole project, I had never heard of the book, and I was working on something else and not wanting to stray. I didn't have the mind space. I didn't have the capacity to think about something else at the time, and it was like forced on me. And so I was like, no, seriously, I don't have time. And so they gave me a synopsis of the thing, and it was terrible. It was like, in a sentence, it does sound very trite and shallow. 17-year-old girl like falls head over heels, like wants to die for this perfect being. It's like very ideological and far-fetched, and I was just like, nope. But I read the script and seriously begged for the audition, because I told them already, and then I called back and I was like, no, please, can I audition for this? And it's definitely, I mean, at least for Rob, he plays a character who's supposed to be perfect, but he's very flawed. I mean, he's 108 years old. He's lived forever alone and sort of hating himself. And it's like having a disease. It's like it's not something. It's not good. On the surface, it's something very different, but when you get down to it, it's like quite a hard, strained love story. So.
Well, I was going to say too that looking at your career, this strikes me almost for both you and Robert like your Titanic moment. That you're kind of building up a steady career, and first noticed in Panic Room, you were wonderful, Into the Wild, and there was a sense of step by step you're going to kind of make an impression. Suddenly, you're in a movie that does 35.7 million on its opening day and 69 plus on its weekend. And is that something that I don't know if you're entirely comfortable with that, because it does bring those wonderful questions like what's it like to date the hottest vampire in the world? All this sort of stuff comes at you. Has it been quite an eye-opener? I don't know whether it's been all fun or whether it's been a bit dizzying, really.
Yeah, it's been a little dizzying. It's a good way to put it. I'm also, like, entirely disconnected from it. I've already done... What really drives me crazy is when I'm working. It's like I'm a nutcase when I'm working on something. Like, I can't think about anything else. I have, like, total tunnel vision, and thankfully I wasn't aware of it while that process was happening. It all happened afterwards, so it was like, well, thankfully that job is done, because I would have gone mad. So, yeah, I'm not very good at this. I can't, usually, it's easier actually when you leave the United States, because people ask you questions and then they want to hear your answers. But in the States, it's sort of like, so what is it like kissing a vampire? It's like, well, come on, man, I don't know. Never done it. I'm too serious. Like, I can't, I'm very, like, logical. I don't have, like, the mind that, like, jokes around. I just start, like, offending people when I start joking, and then I don't want to do that. So.
Same here.
Yeah.
Obviously, my first question was almost offensive to you.
Right.
Yeah. But this notion that your mom's a script supervisor, your dad works for TV, he's a producer, and you're born in LA, and I don't know whether there was a kind of part of you, and you've said you were kind of a loner growing up, whether this life was pretty much a given. I don't know whether you ever thought, maybe I'll become a plumber. Was it always going to be this, do you think, or?
No, actually, like, in the beginning it was pretty arbitrary. I fell into going to auditions, and I was, like, turned away vehemently from all, like, the kiddie shows and stuff, because I was too serious and not funny. And I did a movie called Speak, this, like, Lifetime movie, and that was the first time I was like, wow, this feels like breathing, like, this feels like something that I have to do. And so I kept doing it. It's good that I started young, too, because I think if I started at any older age, I wouldn't have been able to get past, like, insecurities, and I would have thought about it too much.
And do you feel comfortable now, though? Because it seems even there's success there and there's recognition and good kind of critical response, and so you're happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that people seem to like the movie. I mean, at least the critics like the movie. Yeah, I'm happy.
Rock and roll. I've been giving the friendly finger to wrap up.
Oh, okay.
Very nice to talk to you, dear.
Yeah, same here. Thanks.
Have you got a bit of time? You're just probably shut